About a year ago, I met a gentleman called Walt Fricke, and they had a program called Veterans Airlift Command. And what the purpose of Veterans Airlift Command is predominantly hauling post 9/11 vets with severe bodily injury, post-traumatic stress issues, things like that.
I was a helicopter pilot and was flying gunships when I got wounded. We were leading a gun team, and they were making a combat assault. The slicks are inbound with the troops, and when he fired the rockets, one of the rockets exploded coming out of the tube, and the shrapnel from the rocket took my foot, severed my foot, except for the Achilles tendon. My foot flipped up, and I grabbed my knee, and my foot flipped up and landed backwards in my lap. And then my crew chief, who had also taken shrapnel in the chest, unpinned the seat, laid it down, pulled off his belt, and put a tourniquet on my leg, like a count of 1, 2, 3. And he saved my leg. I spent 6 months in the hospital when I got back from Vietnam, a long way from home. And it was a while before my family could gather the resources to come and see me. And during that period of time, I was very anxious. I was losing weight, and maybe PTSD and concern about how they'd view me with a busted up body, had a leg that we thought I was going to lose, and so that 6 weeks stayed with me. When I retired, I had an airplane, and I thought, I can solve that problem for somebody. And I thought, well, I'll start this transportation service for combat wounded with my airplane. And a friend of mine challenged me and said, you can't keep this idea to yourself. It's, you need to create a national network and do this, and with your connections and that sort of thing, you could probably succeed, in which we have. We have 2,500 volunteers that fly for us, and very few people fly only one mission. Once they do it, they sign up to do more. There are lifetime friendships created out of the flights. It changes their lives.
I've never met a finer group of people. There's not a one of them that has this feeling sorry for themselves, or they don't have a chip on their shoulder about their condition in life, and everyone we've flown has just been exemplary, nice young men. My favorite story of transporting a vet, I reached into the baggage compartment and I grabbed his backpack when we got him back home, and his Purple Heart was attached to it, and it was the first time I'd seen it during the whole trip. And I handed it to him, almost with tears in my eyes, and the young man set the backpack down and gave me a hug and said, Mr. Holt, I never in a million years would have believed I would have flown in a private jet, much less be able to sit in the front right seat on both legs. And he was so appreciative. It humbled me because he's thanking me for thanking him.
We're high on compassion and low on red tape was my beginning mantra, that we're going to build this so that it's easy for them to access, easy for our pilots to access. So we want a very simple, low overhead, clean, effective operation. I traveled to Walter Reed Brooke Army Medical Center, the major touch home points hospitals, and walked the halls and met the families and the guys in their beds and said, when you get ready to go home, you call us, because you don't need to go through fly commercial and go through the TSA and with a wheelchair or prosthetics or a traumatic brain injury or burn victim. They don't need to be hassled by the security if we've got somebody that's willing to fly them, which we do.